Hey, what's up guys? Time for tutorial number 5, I believe. And in this one, it's a continuation of the last one basically. And now, instead of just having one event, like one button to click, I'm actually going to show you how to have two buttons. And they're independent of each other. And like, if you click one, maybe some text will pop up, and if you click another one, another piece of text will pop up. But they're independent of each other, so you can click either one you want, and it won't affect the other one. So, this is very useful when you get into more complex programs that you need to do like 3 or 4 or 5, 6, maybe 10 events. So if you don't have this code, go back to my 4th tutorial, and I actually write this code during that tutorial. So, or I guess if you really want, you can pause it right now and write it. But anyways, I'm not gonna explain what I've already did. So what we're gonna need is another label and another button. So private j label 2, and I'm actually gonna go ahead and name this one label 1, and we're gonna get errors until we fix that. So private j button 2, and I'm gonna name this one button 1. So follow closely here because I'm gonna change this a little bit. So go here, we're gonna get an error and say button 1 is equal to new, and then button 1 label 1, whoop, and then button 1 label 1. There we go. So now we have our first button, our first label. Now we need a new button and a new label. So button 2, new j button, click for more text. Yep, and then label 2. I guess we'll have, it'll be like the same thing, except now that they're gonna be independent of each other. So label add label 2. Alright, now basically what we did here is we've declared a new class, and then we've added inside that class we've added the button 1 action listener. But in order to make them independent of each other, we gotta make a whole nother class, so another subclass. So I'm gonna call this one event ev. First 2 letters of event makes it easy, and then new event. Or wait, hold on. Oh, this thing can work. Okay, yeah, we gotta name this class something else too. So I'm gonna call it event 2. That way, because if we instead it can't find the class, so right. If we named the same thing as that, it wouldn't work, and when you click one button, both of them would just show up, so that won't work. And then you have to name this something else too, so event 2, just call it ev equals new event 2. And then, now we're going to add a action listener to the second button, so button 2 dot add action listener, and it already pops up as ev, so that's good. As you can see here, we have our public class event, and so find where that class ends, which is right here. Go down a couple lines and type in public class event 2, and then same thing, implements action listener, and then public void action performed action event, and it has to be the different than e. So I think I'll just name it the same thing I named it up here, which you don't have to, but I usually do just to make it easy. So just call it ev. There. Not getting any errors, so set that up right. And now we gotta change the label 2. So label 2 dot set text. This is label 2's text. So now when we run this program, 2 buttons and 2 indivisible labels are gonna pop up. And we click one button, it should work independent of each other, so we'll see. Click for text. Now you can see words here. This is label 2's text. As you can see, we click this one, only that one showed up, and we click this one, only this one showed up. And now I'm going to teach you a little something on how we can actually click this. These words will actually disappear, and we can just keep clicking it, and they'll appear, disappear, appear, disappear. So go up here, and we're going to need 2 integers, Well, I guess you could use booleans, but I'm just gonna use integers. So private int, let's call it x, y. So we need an x integer, y integer, and we're gonna make these equal to 0. So initialize them as 0. And if you don't know what this is, you should probably go back and read some basic tutorials, because I'm gonna be using some if else statements too, and I'm not gonna really explain what they do. So alright, so if x equal, which means it's equal to 0, which it is when it starts, we want the label we want the label 1 to say, now you can see words here. And we want it to say, oh, and then after this, we have to set x equal to 1. So now, else if x equals 1, tab this over, yeah, just like that. Label 1 dot set text, and we're gonna put it back to invisible, so there's actually no text inside the string. And then we're gonna set x back to 0. So if you didn't follow that, basically, since x is already 0 from up here, it's gonna start off as, when we click the button the first time, it's gonna say, now you can see words here, and then right when we do that, we set x back to 1. And then I have another statement that says, if x equals 1, which it is because we just set it back, it's gonna set the text back to nothing. And we set it back to 0, and it goes whoop, back up here, and text equals 0, so it's gonna keep repeating itself every time you click the button. Now I can do that here too, but we'll just use the y variable. So if y 0, and little thing here, tab this over, and then label, or no, y equals 1. And then else if y equals 1, label 2 set text nothing, and y equals 0. Now run this thing again. You can see, you can click it, and the text will appear. Click it again, the text goes away. Appear, go away, go away, appear, appear. And these buttons work independent of each other. So I click this one, and only the label 2 pops up. I click this one, only the first label pops up. I click both of them, both labels pop up. So that's basically what I wanted to show you in this one, is that you can make it so one button does one thing, another one actually does another thing. So again, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my videos, because I'm always going to come up with new ones, and I'm going to teach more advanced topics pretty quick here. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you around.